Today we're going to talk about diabetes. Diabetes is a chronic medical condition that occurs when the human body loses the ability to process glucose, sugar. Insulin is the hormone that's made by the pancreatic beta cells that lowers the body's sugar level by taking sugar into the cells. Diabetics are said to be insulin resistant. Now, there are three types of diabetes. There's type 1 diabetes, there's type 2 diabetes, and there's a thing called MODY, maturity onset diabetes of the young. For our purposes, we will focus on type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetics are usually adults, they're overweight, and they're inactive, although this is not necessarily the case for all persons with type 2 diabetes. Individuals with type 2 diabetes have high blood sugar because they are insulin resistant. The cells can no longer respond to the insulin, so the sugar stays in the blood. The result is that this sugar stays in the blood. It damages blood vessels, nerves, and other organs. Now, damaged blood vessels, that's a problem. This leads to decreased blood flow. Hands and feet become cold, hair loss occurs. Decreased blood to the feet can lead to amputations. Damaged nerves. When nerves are damaged, nerves give us a sense that there's pain that occurs. Damaged nerves lead to numbness and tingling in the extremities, and it leads to a decreased feeling and sensation of pain. When we lack the ability to feel pain, we don't know that we're stepping on something. So, for example, if a diabetic steps on a nail and he has damaged nerves, he or she won't be able to feel the nail. The end result is that they may develop a sore on the bottom of their foot. The sore continues to develop, and as a result, it may later on lead to an amputation occurring. Damaged kidneys can also occur because sugar can also damage the blood vessels in the kidneys. Diabetes is one of the leading causes of renal damage in the United States of America. Also, your kidneys can only absorb so much sugar. So some diabetics they spill sugar out in their urine. Another thing that happens with diabetics is when they have uncontrolled blood sugar levels is that it affects their eyes. So many diabetics have retinal damage to their eyes. They also have blurry vision, and they can lose sight in their eyes as well. One of the ways we can prevent diabetes, or we can make diabetes better, is by our diet, which is what we chose to focus on. A number of people have bad diets in the United States of America. What you can do when you're diabetic is instead of eating fried food, or to prevent diabetes, instead of eating fried food, you can bake it, you can broil it, or you can boil your food. Additionally, instead of eating carbohydrate-laden food, you can choose to eat more protein in your food and decrease the carbs that you eat. You can also eat more fruits and more vegetables, but you have to understand that a lot of fruit also have carbohydrates in them, for example, bananas, so you have to be careful with the banana intake that you use. So be careful with minding your diet, and you can help prevent diabetes. Or if you already have diabetes, you can make the diabetes better.
Next, we're going to be watching a short film clip on the benefits of eating a healthy, balanced diet. When you have type 2 diabetes, foods you should eat, and there are some foods that you should avoid. So this short little film should clarify that for the entire group.
Hello, I'm Janice Hidalgo, Project Manager of the Diabetes Self-Management Educational Program at iPro. We are talking about how to self-manage your diabetes by eating healthy. If you've just learned that you have diabetes or pre-diabetes, you probably have a lot of questions about what you can or can't eat. Do you wonder if you can ever eat your favorite foods again? What happens when you are eating at a restaurant or at a friend's house? Do you have to change your whole diet just because you have diabetes? The answers to these questions is no. There is nothing that you can't eat, but everything you eat has an effect on your blood sugar. Learning to eat regular meals, controlling the amount you eat, and making healthy food choices can help you manage your diabetes better and prevent further health complications. Developing a sensible plan for eating is an important first step in diabetes control.
With diabetes, you really have to watch the portions, and not only the portions, but particularly the portions of carbohydrates, because carbohydrates, as you know, are the foods that affect your blood sugar. So watching those carbs is really important.
A healthy meal will include complex carbohydrates, proteins, and healthy fats. Complex carbohydrates include whole grain bread. Lean meat, such as chicken without the skin or fish, are excellent sources of protein. Lots of nuts and healthy oils like olive, peanut, or canola are rich in healthy fats. Portion control can help you control your blood sugar. A good first step is to follow a type of meal planning known as the plate method. This method includes a healthy balance of foods in controlled portions. In this method, half of your plate is filled with non-starchy vegetables such as greens, green beans, broccoli, or cabbage. 25% should contain meat or another protein like eggs, low-fat cheeses, or beans. And the other 25% should contain starches such as potato or whole grain bread. On the side, include an 8-ounce glass of low-fat milk or a small piece of fruit. Other things you can do include counting carbohydrates. Counting carbs is one way to control blood sugar. By limiting the amount of carbohydrates in your diet to about 45 to 60 grams a meal, you can prevent your blood sugar from going too high after that meal. Reading food labels. Learning to read food labels is an important step in planning healthy meals and limiting the amount of unhealthy fats and sodium in your diet. For example, by knowing the difference between serving size and total servings, you can count the number of total carbohydrates in your meal. Developing a practical meal plan. Your dietitian can help you work on a meal plan that fits you and your lifestyle. Preventing high or low blood sugar. Some foods can raise your blood sugar faster than others. Learning which foods you can take to raise your blood sugar when it's low is just as important as knowing which foods can cause your blood sugar to go too high. If you don't know how to do these yourselves, ask a diabetes educator or a dietitian to help you get started. If you'd like to learn more about diabetes, check out our other videos in this series, including how to incorporate physical activity into your self-care regimen.
For the next part of this group intervention, we are going to be separating the women into smaller groups, and they're going to be writing down the benefits of eating a full and healthy balanced diet. And here we are with our 3 group members. And they are going to be writing down different ways that they believe a full, healthy, balanced diet is going to help them in the long run and all the benefits that come along with it. So, what are some things that come with eating a full and healthy, balanced diet every day? Discuss with your group members. What did we come up with on this list of beneficial things of eating a good and balanced, healthy diet when you have type 2 diabetes?
Well, you feel better, you have more energy, you keep healthy blood sugar levels, you protect your overall health, and you lower the risk for health conditions.
That's perfect. So, after talking about all those benefits of eating a healthy, balanced meal, what are some concrete ways that you can make these healthy lifestyle choices in your everyday life?
I can try to buy more fresh produce, maybe hit the local farmers market and see what they have for reasonable prices. I can look up healthy recipes and try to make a grocery list based off of the healthy recipe. And I don't know, just try to be more aware of my choices.
Okay, so we're here at the local grocery store. It's about a mile from this participant's home. One of our perceived barriers in class was not being able to find a local, accessible food option. So today we're going to the local grocery store and we've already meal planned a recipe. And I will go through with our participant how to have a lower carb and less sugar meal. So today we're going to work on this recipe that we have already meal planned together. Okay, so here at our local grocery store, you're able to find items at a better price because they only sell their items at cost plus 10% added at the register. This makes them the best option in our community. Alright, so here we have a bunch of the canned vegetables, and as you see, the price is very good. But the thing about canned vegetables, there's often added salts and sugars that make them less healthy. So we're going to move over here to the fresh vegetable section and see what we need to get on our meal plan. And we're going to talk about how when you have type 2 diabetes, you have to watch your sugar. So fruits, whereas they appear healthy, they have a lot of sugar. So when you are high, you want to avoid fruits such as grapes and strawberries, ones that are very high in sugar content. So grapes are not always the best option when you're running high. So we want to focus more on green vegetables when you are high. Also, another thing to avoid are the more starchy potatoes. Those can convert in your body and be digested as sugar. Here we are picking out some good tomatoes. As you see, we're getting fresh tomatoes. We're gonna probably go for this 2-pack that is $2. Here we're gonna get a pack of fresh peppers. Are you comparing prices? That's very great. Where did you learn that?
From my class, my teacher. But these are smaller packs.
So does that fit your needs better?
Yes, they will be fresher longer.
Okay. So here at the local grocery store, we have an international aisle, very culturally competent. They have options that you wouldn't see at other grocery stores. So we're going to come down here and look for our seasonings that we're going to use for our recipe. That's not our beans. Those are white beans. So we want to go for less white food. We want to have black beans. So for our meal planning, we need how much black beans?
A can.
We need 1 can.
Ounces.
15 ounces. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at these black beans. 1 can is 15 ounces, and it is a WIC approved item, so this is good. All right, we'll look at, so it's only 6% carbs and only 1 gram of sugar, so this is a good option for our recipe. So in order to be more cost effective, instead of having to buy all the different seasonings and more than you're going to use, for our class we're going to buy a pack of taco seasoning. It's 63 cents and it only has 1 gram of sugar also. In total, our recipe will only have 6 grams of sugar per serving. Here's our participant taking a look at the options of spices at this local grocery store. So flavor is a big thing, and the Hispanic diet is trying to eliminate unhealthy options but still having flavor. So we have all of these options, affordable options for adding in flavor. This section of the aisle, because what are we eliminating by not using the tortillas?
Carbs.
Yes, and carbs are bad for a diabetic diet. So we're replacing this with our lettuce. Okay, so we're going to be comparing. This recipe can be done with fresh ground turkey or chicken, and these are both good alternatives to eating ground beef or any kind of red meat. So here we have the organic Butterball Everyday Ground Turkey. It's only $2.82 a pound, and this is 1 pound, so this whole pack is only $2.82. And this will fulfill our recipe for the cooking class, so this is a very affordable option. So we're going to take a look at the chicken and see how it measures up to see which one is more affordable. Alright, here we have our all-natural Georgia grown chicken, and it is $1.88 a pound. But the smallest packs they have are about a little bit over 2.5 pounds. So this would be $4 versus our pack of a pound of ground turkey that we can use that is only going to be $2.80. So today we're going to go with the ground turkey, but we have discussed how to look at these prices and see what actually you're paying for to use as options in the future. So we chose what meat today?
we chose the ground white turkey.
And that is an alternative to using what kind of meat?
Beef.
Yes. So we're gonna go with, okay, so here we are comparing our 2 sour cream options. So of course, everyone in the class chose to try to go for the light first. So I said, let's look more at the nutrition facts. So we have one is 60 calories and one is 40, but that's not exactly what we want to look at. So being diabetic, it's more important to look at what?
At the carbs.
The carbs and the sugars. Okay, so when we look closely at the carbs and the sugars, the full fat one actually has only 1 gram of sugar versus 2 from the light, and 1 carb versus 2 from the light. So today for the diet we're going to be on, we're going to go ahead and get the full fat, because in this case this is better for our diabetic diet. These limes, in order to spritz some limes into our recipe, the participants stated that they felt this would make the recipe more flavorful. So you're avoiding the sweets. Look away from the sweets. Okay, so we just finished our shopping adventure. Do you feel have more access to healthy food now?
Oh yes, and I checked out a lot of international labels.
Yes, so now our participants feel better about finding healthy food options in their community, and now we're gonna go cook it to see how we make a meal.
For cues to action, the women will document their blood sugar levels in a daily journal. To use the blood glucose monitor, you will need blood glucose test strips, glucose monitor, and a prick. Once we prick our finger, we get our results on the monitor. 92 is the great blood sugar level. Since Cues to Action is a daily reminder, the women will document their healthy eating and blood sugar levels once a month with a support group.
Okay, we are getting ready for our cooking demonstration. We are going to be working on the construct of self-efficacy, so just making sure our participants feel like they can do this. So we're going to try to go in small steps, just explaining everything. And first we're going to get everything out. Tomatoes, lettuce, just substituting for our typical tortillas, and then we also went with the ground turkey versus the chicken for a better price. So I just started off, washed my hands. We're ready to prepare some food. Some peppers, great fresh items, some onions, got an avocado. They had them today, very fresh. Also got 2 limes. We'll probably only use 1 in this recipe, but they were a good price. We have our participant volunteered to help us out. We get a cutting board, a good nice surface to chop up these veggies with. And you always want to wash your veggies. So we're going to wash our veggies, and then we'll be right back. So this recipe is extremely easy. There's actually only 2 steps. That's why we chose it. We want to show the ease of cooking something healthy. I'm going to have my helper, my student, help me chop up the veggies, and then we will mix those all together, and then we'll put them in the refrigerator and hold them until our meat is ready. One-4 a cup of finely chopped onion. The participants are feeling very positive. They feel like they know how to do this. Most of these women already cook. It's just a matter of cooking the right things. So we're just adding in these vegetables and showing how they can be an addition to the recipe. A little bit of light olive oil in the pan to begin. It's just a better option for us than cooking with fats and animal fats. So we're just going to use a dash of olive oil. All right, we're going to start off by taking some of our veggies. We have peppers and we have some onions. The tomatoes will be added afterwards, and so will the avocado, but we want to cook this with the meat. So we're going to go ahead and put this in the pan with a little bit of olive oil. Our vegetables are sauteing. We are going to open our can of beans and we're going to drain them and we're going to get them washed. Draining them takes some of the excess salt out of it. The pretty colors, you want to try to cook with colors. Alright, the vegetables are getting a little brown, so it is time to add in the meat. I'm going to turn the stove down slightly just so the meat doesn't pop everywhere and doesn't burn. So that's what we're going to do now. Alright, we're going to add in the seasoning now. We just want to do it when the meat was slightly cooked so it'll still soak up all the flavors. So how do you think the turkey is going to taste as an alternative to beef?
It's smelling wonderful. I think it'll be great.
Turn down the stove top and we just add in the beans. You want to let them cook just a little bit. You don't want them to get too soggy, so we just add them in here at the end. Alright, so now we're just going to let it simmer for a minute. We have our participant over here preparing our alternative to using tortillas. We are using romaine lettuce. It's a long lettuce, and she's going to wash it and get it ready to use as our wrap. So we'll put these over the top of our tacos, and we have some chopped avocado and then some lime juice to spritz over it. This recipe, meat-wise, would feed about 4 to 5 people. They can at least have 2 tacos each, and this also is not using all of our ingredients, so the whole of them, so definitely we'll have some romaine lettuce left over to use for other things, other tacos. And like I said, we have some tomatoes left. Right now the dish is looking very similar to paella, and we are just going to make sure this meat is all cooked and it smells wonderful. I'm just going to tear off the end of the lettuce wraps. So all you have left is the top and the larger part. So we have our wraps, and so we're just going to go with having 2. We'll take the biggest ones. So this is a great no-carb alternative, very diabetic friendly. I'll give you all the diabetic exchange rates for this recipe in a moment. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to add a little bit of this tomato. So it just depends on how much you like tomatoes. Our class loves tomatoes. I'm going to add in a lot of tomatoes. Then I'm going to add in some guacamole. Guacamole has high in fat, but this is good for our diet we're following. So I'm just going to add some guacamole on each of these. And then, like we bought the full fat sour cream, so next we're going to add a dollop of that sour cream on top. Okay, so I'm going to add in just a dollop. So we want to look at the good serving. So I'm just going to add a dollop on there. And then another dollop on your other taco. And now we have this wonderful Hispanic meal. It smells great. So for our diabetic exchange for this recipe, it is this is a serving. A serving is 2 of these. It's about 259 calories, 8 grams of fat. 2 of those are saturated fats. We're looking at only 19 carbs, and 4 of these are sugar and 6 are fiber. So our diabetic exchange this is 3 lean meats, 1 starch, 1 vegetable, and 1 fat. So this is a great alternative for dinner. And like I said, it would feed 4 to 5 people. So we're really excited to get into this and give it a taste. So how did you feel about cooking that recipe?
It was very easy to do. Follow directions, simple, cutting vegetables, browning meat, and I could see me doing it for my family.
All right, and did you feel like you could afford to cook this recipe?
Oh yes, definitely.
All right, so let's try these lettuce versus tortilla tacos. Yum, yum. So in total, the meal that we prepared for our cooking class cost $18 when purchased at the grocery store. And also we found out through the cooking class, and as some of the participants pointed out, that you could cook this whole entire meal again and just add in $2.80 for another pound of turkey, or get the value pack that would be less than buying 2 separate packs. And you could cook this recipe twice, making it available for 10 people, 2 dinners, for $20 essentially. So this was very highly regarded in our cooking class. We, like I said, when you buy the vegetables and you buy the pack, we had leftover everything for a whole nother recipe, and we just needed to add a little bit more meat to stretch it a little further. So this was very positive, and we had a great time cooking this meal. The participants were also very shocked that you would be able to cook a meal, 2 separate dinners for $20. So you would feed about 10 people, or you would feed 5 people twice for that amount. They were shocked and stated that when they do eat out, it is definitely not as healthy, but with this meal they feel comfortable about the health and how the nutrition, all the nutrition facts when compared to eating out, and they feel comfortable with the money, considering that we went over everything that could be purchased on WIC or on EBT food stamps or the SNAP program. So after going over this, all the participants feel very comfortable with this meal.